Hey guys, welcome to IQChess. Hope you're having a fantastic day and welcome to a bonus episode of my 1F4 Birds opening series. So, in a recent poll in my channel, I asked you folks if you'd be willing to watch game analysis and game review. So, here we are. This is a game I played recently with an accuracy of 89%, except for a very minor oversight by me. It was almost a perfect game. So, I'm very happy about this game actually. This wasn't like a complete brilliancy where I just sacked the pieces and just won the game by force. Rather, it was like how a pretty good instructive game for people who want to play the birds opening as their main repertoire. So yeah, let's begin. By the way, before moving on, we hit 1000 subscribers recently. So thank you so much for everyone who's been watching my videos lately. It's amazing. We hit 500 subscribers, 2000 in almost 1 week. So very thankful for that. So yeah, let's keep moving. Um, F4. Here opponent played the move of D5, knight to F3, knight to F6, E3, and here opponent played the move of bishop to G4. This move is a dubious move. The whole point is basically you are pinning my knight to the queen, but that is not the objective of playing the one of the objectives of the bird's opening. From black side, this is not something that black should be doing. Rather, black should focus on something like the move of C5 or play the move of E6 or bishop to F4. F5 is always a very good choice. I'm very sorry, but this move bishop to G4 although looks good on the on picture, but it's not really doing anything for black. So yeah, a black played this move, and here I went for my typical plan with the move of B3. This is like the setup that we learned in episode number 2, the reverse classical Dutch setup. Just trying to fight for the central dark squares. You'll see it soon. Here my opponent played another pretty dubious move. Sorry, after E6, here I played bishop to B2, simply countering my bishop on the queen side, putting long-term pressure on the king side of black. Here my opponent already played a dubious move, which is knight to C6. This is never the idea in any of these positions. Any d4 positions in general, the knight in front of the c pawn is not a good idea because you would rather play the move of c5 and put the knight behind, because at least that way you have a strong from center of the board. This is not doing any help for black because I can just play the move of bishop to b5, which is what I'm actually going to do anyway. Like if black played the move of c5, my next move would have been bishop to b5 and forcibly trading this knight anyway. So this basically helped me because at the end of the day, after a6, I'm taking the bishop, taking the knight, and then after b takes, I'm going for d3. We have bishop to d6 from black, and then here knight bd2, castles, castles. There are 10 moves in, and I have reached basically the golden position that comes out of the bird's opening. What I mean by that is the typical thing that we want to achieve is have a pawn on f4, a pawn on e3, a knight on f3, and a bishop on b2. All these four pieces are fighting for the critical squares of d4 and f5. The central dark squares are of extreme value in the bird's opening. If you successfully let black push on forward like this, it's not going to be a good news for you. So by playing like this, I'm basically ensuring I have a strong bind in the center of the board. And then comes these pawns, these light square pawns. Remember, I have went here and traded my light square bishop, so I'm restructuring my pawns on the light squares. All these pawns. Soon I can play the move of h3 also, and I'll have 6 pawns in the light squares, basically repelling this bishop. And then finally, this move of f4 basically lets my queen slide out this way. My queen can use these dark squares to mobilize herself to the queen king side of the board and attack over there. So this is the best you can get from opening, and I'm enjoying a good advantage of 0.7 from engine. It's not much, but it is something, yeah. So here my opponent went for queen to c5, and I played the move of queen to e1. As I said, using the dark squares to move my queen away, and also I'm unpinning myself. And here my opponent played the move of queen to e7, which I don't understand, and it gives me advantage of 1.2 for some reason. I don't exactly know why. And here I played the move of knight to e5, which is the best move. Typical stuff of the birds opening. Not just birds, like birds opening, Stonewall, London. All these openings are all about the central squares of e5 and d4. Here, this move is good because I am putting a knight in the center of the board, sufficiently defended by my bishop and my pawn, And in a perfect world, I would like to put a knight behind my knight and basically reinforce. Like for example, if black just play something like a5, for example, my next move would be knight to f3. And then eventually, if black ever takes me, it's knight takes. And then I have an extremely strong control. This is an outpost square, meaning the square is open in territory where I'm very safe. I have planted my knight there. The only way to would be to just move the knight back and play f6 maybe. Here my opponent took the knight. And I played the move of f take. Now this might be a bit confusing for you people watching the video right now because like why f takes, like a better choice would be definitely the move of bishop takes on e5. The reason I'm playing the move of f takes is because long term, the opening of the rook benefits me more than closing of the bishop. If I played the move of bishop takes, well, my bishop is open, but black can just go back and I have to retreat and I have achieved nothing. But this transposition is better for me because after knight to d7, I can play queen to g3. Now I'm defending my pawn 1 second sufficiently. No more shenanigans over here, and this bishop is being threatened. Again, the best move. Bishop h5 was played by my opponent, and here I made a mistake. I apparently had played the move of rook to f4, which is an incredible move spot, and double up here, and maybe move my rook here and put pressure over here, which is absurd. So I didn't. I obviously missed it. I played the move of queen to h3, which seems to lose the advantage back to 0-0. I had 1.2, and this move basically is a mistake. And here the opponent, because the whole point of this move is there to attack the bishop, but it's a one move attack. Black can just play bishop to g6, and it's actually inaccuracy. Engine wants, I think, g3 on the opponent. For some reason, g6 is the best move. I don't know why, but yeah, whatever. Bishop back, and here I played the move of knight to f3. Once again, an inaccuracy because engine wants me to go back to g6 or g3. Not human level stick stuff, so I just went knight to f3. Mobilizing my knight. This knight is a lot more active in the square. I have ideas such as knight to h4, getting rid of this bishop, or in the future maybe something like bishop back, e5, and then going for knight to g5. So yeah, here my opponent played the move c6, and I went for d4. Again, another mistake because I'm losing this pawn here. The opponent played c takes, e takes, and then here opponent played the move c5, trying to open the c file for their own counterplay. Like the whole point of white here is white is attacking over here, and meanwhile black will try to create counterplay on this side of the board. The C file and the B file are the critical files in this systems where black will usually play the move of A5, A4 and try to chip away like this and open the B and C file for themselves. Here already I just played the move of C3, just keeping everything together, and after the move of C takes, I played the move of C takes. So what's going on right now? I have a very strong central bind, no doubt. It's sort of a closed position because like although there are some open lines to play around, in general, this side of the board, where it really matters, where the kings are, is pretty closed because there are 4 pawns of mine and 5 pawns of black, and this pawn basically like jammed. It can't really move and do anything beneficial. Here, knight to b6 is an inaccuracy from the opponent. The reason why is because this knight has absolutely zero scope in the game because my pawn on b3 is doing a fantastic job rippling the knight from these squares. So there is no if I ever move the pawn forward, it's dead for me because black just comes here. Sorry, to the c5 c4 square. So for that reason, this is not a good move. And here I play the move knight to h4, simply trying to grab the bishop. Because my thought here right now was that if in a perfect world, black is able to trade my queens off, the rooks off, the knights off, and this pair of rooks off, what will be left is an opposite colored bishop endgame, which is a draw. So for that reason, I don't want to play on such an endgame. I would rather have a winning position on the board because I believe I can win the game pretty easily. Here, I just played knight takes. Back went black. Sorry, black went back. And here I just played knight takes on g6. Typical stuff. That's my idea all along. And after knight takes g6, here I played the move rook to c1, which is a missed win. There is extremely hard to spot, yet one of the most brilliant moves on the board. Pause the video and try to find it if you can. I'll give a couple of seconds for you. So the move here, the rook to c1 is bad because on one hand it's a simple takes and takes. So I moved my rook 2 times. It's not good. The, the move here that I have to play actually is bishop to a3. Such a beautiful move. The whole point is Black can't take. If black takes, it's GG's because after this, you can't block because of takes. And this is a winning endgame for me because I'm up a pawn and this pawn is gonna fall very soon. There are so many back rank threats, and I have a fast pawn already. So for that, it is very good for me. However, it didn't happen. So here I played the move rook to c1, which is not a good move. Black took on f1. I took back, and here we have rook to f8. I traded. The whole point is after knight takes, here I can play this. No, here another instructive moment for you people. In chess, when you have an advantage, you need to play for the advantage. You need to play where your strength lies. Like, let's just analyze for a second. We have a C file and F file are both are open. So there's nothing here. This file is completely opened. Center is locked. This pawn is a weakness in long term. However, right now it is defended sufficiently by the knight and the queen, and even the king can come and defend some positions. So this pawn is pretty well defended, even though it's a weakness. Same goes for my pawn. It's a weakness in the bishop comes off the board. This could be a weakness, but right now it is not. King side, we have 2 on 3, but this 3 is doubled pawns. So it's like 2 on 2 only. And there is no play here. The kings are right here and it's currently defended. The critical advantage lies here. My advantage lies here. This is my asset. In late game, I can play the move of a4, b4, b5, exchange a pawn, and get a pass pawn on the b file. So I should focus my play on this side of the board right now, which is why I played the move of queen to d3, which is the best move. Simply attacking this pawn. Opponent played queen to b7, defending the pawn, and I played bishop to a3, trying to simplify it down to a queen endgame. Because I have studied the queen endgames, and if you have not, you should definitely consider doing so. It is really helpful. Here, opponent played knight to d7, and I played the move of queen to h3. Not a great move, but I'm just putting pressure here because the knight just moved. Opponent played the move of queen to c6, defending the pawn, and I played the move of queen to h4. I'm trying to infiltrate on the back rank right now. Opponent played queen to c8, and I played the move of queen to e7. I'm just monitoring everything. I'm not letting black have any fun because this is not a threat. My bishop is defending the square, and if this queen ever moves, GG's. So yeah. So for that reason, this is a good move in my opinion, but not the best apparently. And here my opponent played knight to b6, again a critical mistake. And at this point, black is already lost. I have a +2 advantage. The whole point is after bishop to c5, which is what I played. I'm simply going to take the knight, and this queen is overloaded. What I mean by that is the queen cannot defend the knight actually. The queen goes to b6 square, to b8 square. One thing, this pawn is hanging, always a good thing. And then I can just take this knight, or the queen goes, I can just take it right away because the whole point is the queen can't take me because of mate. So this move is a very good move, and here my opponent has to retreat to a8 and play this really, really terrible move of knight to a8. This knight is dead out of the game. And here I played the move of queen to d6, and just again monitoring every square. And here my opponent made one more mistake. It's not the first uh, blunder that kills you, it's the second one. And here the move of knight to c7 is a bad move objectively because it lets me pin him. And at this point, my opponent is already pretty perplexed. He just blundered with the move of queen to e8, simply hanging a knight, and then he takes his free knight, and I just won the game already. Queen to f7, and my opponent resigned because it's mate in 2 after queen to d8 check. The only choice is to go back and get mated. And I had a rating performance of 2000. My opponent had 750 performance, and my accuracy was 88.7%. Overall, I did not make any major mistakes. The only real mistakes in the middle game were the queen to h3 oversight, missing the rook f4 idea, and then this d4 push blundering a pawn. Other than that, the rook to f4 is also pretty terrible in my opinion. This was a great opportunity to play a very good move. Where is that? Wait. Yeah. This, except for these three moves, I believe everything else I played almost picture perfect, if not the best move, at least the top three moves of the engine. So yeah, that was my game on the birds opening. I have some more games like these, like with 90 approach 90% accuracies. We'll see them soon. But till then, stay tuned. Bye.